national emergency.
Detonator charged.
Welcome back to the Povcorn podcast. And just to kick it off, Nolan strikes again. Christopher Nolan strikes again. Like
there's a reason it's called
doing it.
There's a reason it's called Christopher. You know, I mean,
I can't count for you.
it's just the consistency for me, man.
Like
It's the consistency.
back to back to back to back. God damn it!
It's crazy.
I was watching a movie and my mind, man. I don't know if it's just me or did you get that feeling? It was like a serious game in my head.
I went to see this movie the day it came out on Friday, and the only time the time I was free was like in the evening, like around 8. That was the only time I could get it for.
Just say,
and I went to the cinema like around 8, and I left like almost to 12. When I was in the cinema, I assumed various positions while watching that movie. Some of them, I'm very sure people in the cinema will be like, "What's wrong with this dude?" Because
this is apt. This is an apt description because I had the same
at some
thing
point.
going
I was like this.
Yeah,
I was like this.
Yeah,
I had so many positions. I was not in one, and then when the bomb went off, man, I was just like the entire cinema was quiet. Nobody was saying a thing. And you know why this made so much sense and why it just clicked so well? The fact that this is a serious topic. This is a serious movie. And from beginning till the end, that was the feeling.
The atmosphere.
The atmosphere. It was so serious, man. And that's how it's supposed to be. I don't even see any other way that this should have been done. You get? There was no, let's chip in some comedy in here. One line of, or there was nothing like that.
There were some brief moments of comedy, but it wasn't a they moment.
They were brief. I'm not even gonna call it like.
It wasn't that moment.
It was just
trying.
Because it was just because those people that portrayed those parts of comedy was because that is their character. The funny thing is, I've forgotten what happened. It might even be a serious thing, but it just had some little
situation, the way they said it,
and the person
it's supposed to be obvious. Oh god,
it was not trying too hard whatsoever. But yeah, the main thing is Oppenheimer it blew me away.
Man, it felt like
blew me away, man.
The conversation, because I was at work in the morning and we're having our daily stand-up, and someone asked about the movie in work with everybody, the officials, and this dude saw it and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's a Christopher Nolan movie, but it's more chattier than his other movies." And I realized that yes, that's the case. It felt like an Aaron Sorkin movie. It felt like The Social Network, like just different dialogues bouncing forward and back. And I don't know, it felt like that type of dialogue we got from Tenet. I don't know if you remember, Tenet was so chatty, but it had the action in it.
I think it was most of what it was supposed to be. I think that's how it's supposed to be.
There's no action in this now. It's just competence porn from beginning to the end.
There's no way you would do something about like this biopic. There's no way you would do this kind of thing and you expect it to have all of those. Like that's what the movie is about.
It's not a critique. It's not a critique. It was just like trying to prime everybody. Like, I know you expect some Inception level type stuff, Tenet level, but no, it's like if you've seen Aaron Sorkin movies, The Social Network or The Newsroom, that's exactly what you're getting. But the atmosphere, the situation, like you said, it's being that serious. That's a bit too much. But this movie is not for everyone.
Yeah, I know the thing I liked about it is even if you're not, into physics, you have no background in physics and all of that, for some reason you'll be able to follow what was going on. I don't know if they had to make it that way so everybody can actually follow or
Mm,
something like that, but that's how I felt like my engineer, yeah. But
I
I don't know,
understand. Yeah.
but you understand, other people might just be able to follow it very easily. That's how I felt, it was
Mm.
my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah, usually Nolan has all these concepts that will like go over your head. You have to watch like Tenet. You have to watch Tenet maybe 5 times to get it. But this movie, it was even. I remember at the time the woman that he eventually got married to, Emily Blunt, in the movie, when she asked him, "Please explain to me quantum, explain to me the
Mechanics,
quantum
yeah.
world, quantum energy." And then he explained it so simply. He was like, "This bottle, this table, whatever," and he broke it down. It's everything joined together. And it's what makes both our arms not pass through each other. And I was like, "Bruh, if you ask me to explain quantum energy to anyone, I would not be able to that simply." So I get what you mean, but this movie is not for everyone, man. Some people did not like this
True.
movie. Somebody slept in the theater.
Yeah, you will get that. You will get that feeling as well. If
Oh, not
it's
me.
true, it's no,
I
not
was
you. Like,
awake.
no, no, not you, not you. But like, yeah, some
Mm,
certain people, which is
mm,
totally fine. You know,
yeah,
it's totally fine.
it's
I think
understandable.
everybody like what they like. So,
Exactly,
well,
man.
he actually made use of a bomb, an actual bomb
Yeah,
for the
to
movie. It
recreate
wasn't
it. Yeah.
CGI. It wasn't
Mm.
CGI.
He hates
So,
CGI.
but still, if imagine if you had used CGI for this bomb, it's have been, oh my god, it's have been really
It's have been
crazy.
nasty. I
It's
don't
have
think
been really
so. I
crazy.
feel it's have been nasty, man. It would have been like, I don't know. Maybe if he actually put in some work, and Nolan is the type of guy that likes to do stuff on really low budget. So if you wanted to do CGI on a small budget, this movie was 100 million, and it felt like a 200 million, 300 million production, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But yeah. Speaking about the bomb, I love the way they, like, if you remember in the beginning, the way the atoms in his imagination, the way he was seeing the world, like stars, everything was shaking, vibrating, and the way the atoms and string theory was
The
portrayed,
score,
abstracted.
the music.
So, man, the music too with the scenes, it was so beautiful. Do you know what this actually reminds me of? I don't know if you've watched the shows that National Geographic did for Einstein. You didn't see that? Yeah, that was
Yeah.
I got the exact same vibes. Yeah, I got the exact. But I love that shit. The way they abstracted everything, crazy, man.
Yeah, like
Uh,
someone who doesn't really know the story of Oppenheimer going into the
mm,
cinema, you'll be able to just get a sense of the whole, history and all that, which is very important.
mm.
Sometimes I was wondering like how we're gonna talk about it without spoiling the movie, but still, how can you spoil history?
Exactly.
know?
I'm not really bothered about spoiling it. It's just everyone knows the story. It's just the way Nolan got to portray it that
Yeah,
maybe might be what spoiled, but really it doesn't matter. It's such a great movie that I don't even really want to leave any detail out. Like honestly, did you feel horrified when before the
bro,
bomb was about to go off?
bro, I'm not gonna lie. I felt the horror, man.
Yeah, some
And I
people
can,
said that.
bro, I
Yeah.
felt the horror. It was
Mm,
crazy, and I can understand like from where he was coming from, like the
mm,
fact that his moral compass started to shift in the way that
yeah.
he knew that this is terrible. Did you get?
Mm,
And I could
yeah.
feel that shit, man. That bomb was nasty, man.
And that was before it was even tested in
Hiroshima and
Nagasaki and
Nagasaki.
Hiroshima.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I I felt so horrified, and this was before the bomb was going off. This was like when the weather changed up and everything was about to go. Shit was about to hit the fan.
yeah,
And I remember that people when they premiered the movie, when people saw the premiere, some people were like, "This is a horror movie." And I'm like, I get it, but it's not like horror movie in the sense of jump scares or
yeah, and
it felt
blood
like
and all that.
Hereditary. It felt like an existential dread. I was like, how do you build that up in an audience? Like, you need to be really good to pull it off. insane, man.
And you could see
Freaking insane.
in the end, when he started to see like how the future would be with nuclear warheads, coming
Oh
from the sky
man,
and just destroying the whole world. I was just like,
God.
man, this is just access to more crazy stuff. Like, and this guy wanted to still build like a hydrogen bomb as well, man.
Man, it was, and they even built it. They wanted
Yeah.
him to spearhead the project, and
But he
you
didn't. He
know,
couldn't. He didn't want to, and he was trying to find a way to like make sure that doesn't work out.
mm,
And then started to feel like he was a traitor. And you see the
yeah,
discussion he had with Truman then, and it was
mm,
that was just crazy, man. I was
it
just
was
like,
crazy, right? It
wow.
was so
Call
casual the way they
him
were
a
deciding the
crybaby,
fates. Yeah, call him a
bro.
crybaby. I want to know if that's actually how it was in real life, or it's just Nolan being,
I
being
think
Nolan.
no, I think that's how it was. I think I
That's
saw
how it
somewhere
was.
that's how it was.
It's so,
Yeah.
so casual, man. Like, oh, nobody cares about you. They care about me. I'm the man that dropped it. It becomes an ego battle. Like you can see the whole. It's just like what we're talking about in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. Everybody wants to get ahead of everyone, right? In their own
Yeah.
agency,
Yeah.
right? It felt like America. They had relations with Russia at that time. But the fact that they now have this bomb, they want to protect themselves and not inform their. It's all messed up. It's all everyone
It's a
being,
whole race. It's a whole race, man. It's a whole
yeah.
race. The first bomb was dropped as like a threat, and then the Japanese were like, they can't create this bomb like as quickly as they can't do that like within a couple of days again, and they
Mm,
did not surrender. And then they dropped
mm,
the second bomb in like 3 days, man, and then they surrendered. I was just crazy, man. That was
I
why they made
swear.
multiple bombs. Then, like, man, it was crazy. Like, did you also get the whole thing with the colored scenes and the black and white scenes? Do you understand what they meant?
So Nolan, this is one clever shit that Nolan did, right?
Bro, it was so when I
So
was when I was watching it, I was trying to figure out
mm,
what it was, yeah. But
what
when
was
I
going
finished
on? Yeah.
and I actually now understood what was going on, it's
Yeah,
just
tell me your theory. Tell me your theory.
so
How do you say? Let's say if we coincide.
I was thinking like some of them, like I think the black and white scenes are like things that are kind of true, and then the colored scenes are like things that a little bits of makeup in there, like made up stories, just to make the whole thing pop and all. But anyways, that's why I think the black and white scenes like objectively true stuff, and then the
Mm,
colored scenes like
mm.
subjective. I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I was thinking the movie was told from three perspectives. There's
Yeah.
the perspective of the movie itself, which was colored. Then there's the perspective of Robert Oppenheimer, which is when he was giving his testimony, which was also colored. And then there's the perspective of Downey, which is black and white. But
Mm.
at first, I was thinking the black and white was an inversion on past and present. So normally the past will be shown in black
I
and white,
felt
but it was
I felt like
inverted.
that. I felt like that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
when it came together in the end, I was like, this is
uh,
pretty much the same story. Do you get?
yeah,
But it was just different times. But the thing now is, why I felt it was the black and white are kind of true. But like when Strauss was having that whole thing,
round table stuff,
yeah, not even the round table, the other one where
congressional hearing.
yeah, yeah. So it's something that probably might have been public record or something.
Yeah,
So it's yeah.
mm,
So most of the colored scenes, like all the whole Communist Party, some things that you might not just have all of those information. Like,
yeah,
so you might have that, oh, this happened, but you might not have the full information. So I just felt that would be the reason why it would be like, told like that. But yeah.
yeah. It's an interesting take. Wow, just
Yeah.
movies doing that to you,
Yes,
man.
but then again, you could now still see somehow. You could like, yes, Nolan's hand is actually in this thing. Yes, he just had to find a way.
Definitely,
He had to find a way to put some sort of, sprinkle some sort
uh,
of Nolanity on top of it.
Nolan-ness.
Like everybody could have just decided, you know what, let's do it black and white, or let's just do the full color, and let it just
Or
be.
let's make the past black and white and let's make the future colored. But just Nolan being Nolan, man, it's crazy. It was
Like
quite
I was
crazy.
watching it all through, and I was trying to figure out what was going on, like with that particular effect. I was like, why this? And then but
I haven't
that's
seen
what
all
that's
the
my thought.
interviews.
But I
I
need
haven't
to
seen
see
all
the
the
movie
interviews,
again.
but I'm sure he'll give it away.
Yeah. I
I'm
need to
sure
see
he'll
the
give it
movie.
away.
I need to see the movie again, though. I need to see the movie again.
Definitely.
Like I need to see
Definitely.
it again. I was seeing
I
somewhere
was.
that
Mm.
sorry,
No,
Robert
go ahead. Eh?
Killian Murphy was paid like 10M, and then Matt Damon and Robert Downey Jr. like around 4M. I think obviously when you're like the actual the actor, the main actor of the movie, you obviously get more money and everything supporting
Mm.
cast. But still it was just like Robert Downey Jr. That guy is like, I don't even know how much he collects for like a movie or like an episode or something, but still, man, I was like,
Mm. Marvel paid him out, like I think, and like what was it, 30, 70 mil from Marvel.
it's
And he
crazy.
actually said this is the best movie he's been in, Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is the
Yeah.
best movie, and I understand that. Yeah.
Was really excited that
Mm.
he got a call from Christopher to like play the movie and all, to play in the movie and all. It was really excited. But
And I
yeah,
love it. I love the downiness. There was the first time they showed him when he was about to go accept Robert Oppenheimer at his door. The way he walks down the stairs and bounce, I was like, "Oh, that's so downy. That's so freaking downy, man."
yeah,
Epic movie, honestly.
you could
Christopher
see Matt.
Nolan really did his best.
Yeah, you could see Matt Damon. He was just like,
Yeah,
ah, it
I
was really
loved
good.
it
It
in
was
this
really
movie,
good.
man.
Everybody actually,
Mm,
played their part. The way it was
yeah.
supposed to be. I wouldn't even be surprised if Cillian Murphy gets an Oscar out of this. Honestly,
Definitely, he
it was
has
really
to,
good.
man. He has to, with all that work and the way he portrayed the way he portrayed Oppenheimer. It's just some type of guy that knows his words, but he still struggled with stuff, or maybe it's because he struggled with stuff that he knows his words. So very straightforward, does things his own way. Man, it's crazy. Speaking of which, um, I remember this part when he was building Los Alamos. He was like, bring all the scientists, but bring their families. I was wondering if it's because he suffered with depression when he first came over to was it Europe or the US? Maybe that might be why he wants their family to be
I
there.
wouldn't. I wouldn't say. There's just this thing when you have your family close by, when you're actually gonna be in a place for a very long time. They're gonna be there for like 2 3 years. Did you get? It's
But they don't
it's not
usually do that. They don't usually do that. They'll take
when
scientists to remote sites, but he specifically requested for this.
that was the only way to get things done real quick, man.
You know, if the
Everybody like, I need
president
to go.
commanded the presidents
that's
commanded those guys to come over and leave their families, they'll have no
that's
choice.
that's an entire. It's just like when you have like this company in a different country, you get, and then
Mm,
you employ, people from another country. You can also
mm,
have like create like a staff quarters for where everybody will just work and have a
mm.
family and everything. It's I don't know. It's just not. It's normal. It's very supposed to be.
But it's not every company can afford that.
I know not every company can afford that, but I'm
Uh,
saying it's
yeah.
it's 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 normal. Like
Mm,
you would definitely not have the burden of thinking about your family this and your family that. They're just with you after working your normal 9 to 5. You go home. It
mm.
just makes it easier, and
To your
nobody
family, yeah.
nobody yeah nobody has to complain about, I have to go see my family, blah blah blah, or this and that. Everything just
I felt it would have been distracting to have their family over since they're working on one of
nah.
the
It's
most
even
fragile projects in the history of
It's
man.
even it's even better, and it's even easy. Plus the whole compartmentalization thing that Man Damon was trying to talk about.
I laughed
Having
so hard.
everybody
Like, he
having,
said, we have to
having
have it
everybody
compartmentalized.
having everybody in the same place. It's easy to monitor everybody.
Mm.
But that's
Yeah. Also, is this the most risque Nolan movie ever? Like the most sexual Nolan movie ever? Because I feel like you said, I feel it's not her really, but this is something else. It was something else entirely. Like I I remember the first time they showed her, there was this like gasp in the cinema, like You know, everybody being aware of what's going on. Or like, this is the movie,
Yeah.
you know.
I was generally, I was not expecting to see that though. And I was
Yeah.
actually shocked that, I was like, oh, okay,
Mm.
it's part of it, but it was good, regardless, I
I
was not
loved it.
expecting it. I wasn't
I
expecting
wasn't
it, that's all.
expecting it at all. It's not something that Nolan does, but it was used very cleverly. It was used to build a lot of tension in the
Yeah.
movie.
And it
Um,
helped us actually understand the relationships between them and all, which is very important to the movie. So
I felt they dwelled on it just enough. Like it wasn't that major, but it was
yeah,
major at the same time because it kind of tied into Nolan discovering himself because he was just a guy that used to go through the motions, but at
yeah.
the end of the day, we saw what he did. But yeah, the smartest minds in the world and all they could think about was creating a super bomb.
That was the reason why they were brought together, bro. What you expect?
These dudes, if they had that 3 years, they could end world hunger. They
uh,
could they could write essays, debates, but I understand the
they
situation at the
had,
time,
yeah,
but
they had an objective. They couldn't start thinking about other things. But I believe other inventions stemmed from this invention, like other things where
definitely.
if we do a research, we'll find out
Mm,
that some things were invented just during the process of creating the atomic bomb. Some things were
definitely.
found out, some things were invented, and the
Mm,
whole quantum engineering mechanics and fission and fusion and all of that. I'm very sure a lot
mm.
of discoveries and research were found out during that period. So
It was
it's just
bloody insane.
it's the byproduct of the whole thing, but the main thing, the main objective was specifically the bomb.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah,
This movie was so star-studded. I remember seeing the cast like, last year. My friend sent it to me, but it's one thing reading it on Wikipedia. Oh, Robert Downey is going to be
seeing
in.
them
Matt
in
Damon is
action.
going to be in. Seeing them in action, man. Oh, god damn, it was something
Yeah,
else entirely.
and for this to
I
for
loved
this to
it.
happen, see, for this to happen, and
Mm,
he spent like 100 million. It's obvious that these stars, most of them, dropped their prices just because they wanted to work on this project.
yeah.
Because having all of those stars,
Mm.
that's money to be very
Dude,
high.
there were some people I did not expect to be in this movie. Josh, I didn't expect Josh to be here. I didn't expect Huey from The Boys, even though he's a phenomenal actor. I didn't expect this dude that's been on Nickelodeon for a while to be here. The dude that played live action Death Note, but he was in Hereditary, so it makes sense. So many people I didn't expect to be in this movie. I knew Emily Blunt was going to be in this movie, but when she came out, man, I screamed in the cinema. I was like, Emily
Wow.
Blunt. But I was a total fanboy in the cinema, man. A
Yeah.
freaking total fanboy. We're running on 22 minutes. Uh, this movie is less about science and more about the philosophy, the politics, the man, and the realization at the end of the story. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, man.
That's something I
Absolutely.
wrote after the cinema.
That's the
Mm,
truth. That's the truth, bro. That's the truth. Like you could see how it started with him, his personality at the beginning, his personality during the creation of the bomb, and his personality after it was all
mm,
different versions of him.
yeah,
It was a process he had to go through to get to that point and understand life in this entirety and all of that. So I
in those
totally get what
three
you're saying.
parts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So very, very important.
very, very
That's
important.
how it was. That's how I feel it was.
Mm. Um, one more thing. Emily Blunt was a very confused woman, and her role in this movie was the role of a confusing woman. But at the end, when she became so
Bro,
composed,
when she was talking
bro,
with this guy, I was just like,
I didn't see it coming. It was like she
give
was
it to
playing them
them.
from the beginning.
That's what she has been telling
It's
Oppenheimer to do. Man, talk,
fight,
fight for yourself.
fight.
The way she switched up like this, she was like Carol, bro.
Yes, yes, man.
Where she
Oh man.
switched up, she just like shaky, and then next thing she just smiled. She started. Oh shit! I was like, God, this is typical Carol.
Oh man, Emily Blunt is freaking good. She's one of the best female actors out there. Like no cap. And I love her philosophy on taking roles and picking the type of roles she picks. Epic stuff. But yeah, that's one more question. Do you think this is the best Nolan movie ever?
That's a steep question. I would say it's up there. It's up there. It's up there. We have Dark Knight there. We have,
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people might not say Interstellar is like best movie, but I can still put it there at
It's
the top, in my opinion. You know,
Yeah.
it's just when you start talking about, you start thinking about the other ones, and then you say,
The Prestige, Memento. Like we should do like a Nolan marathon and maybe
yeah,
rank it later on.
I'm down. I'm down, man. We can definitely do that. Definitely do that.
Definitely. Oh man, I freaking love this movie. Go watch it, guys. If you haven't seen it, go definitely watch it. It's an experience. That's all I can say. If that ticket was 50 quid, I would have bought it.
You can't even. There's just so much we can tell you about it to go see the movie and everything. You just have to actually experience it for yourself. And
Yeah.
I'm very sure you might have the same opinions as well. For me, I would definitely give it like maybe like a 9/10, in my opinion.
That movie was an 11/10 in my opinion. So, go see it, guys.
Gotta
Definitely
leave
go
some.
see it.
Gotta leave some for God, bro.
Oh man, that extra one is for his production team, it's for his brother, it's for his wife, it's for the guy that did the lighting, all of them. Just give them that extra one.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so if you love this review, then check out our other stuff and leave a like for us in the description. Share this with your friends. If they have doubts seeing Oppenheimer, maybe they saw Barbie and they didn't see Oppenheimer, tell them to go complete the Barbenheimer in its entirety. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Bye.